Good morning, year four. Hope you're all okay. I miss you guys so much. Okay, can you please get your workbook and open page 44? Okay, pause me and go open it or go get it. Okay, today we're gonna talk about equivalent fractions. What does the word equivalent fractions means? Okay, it means that I can have two fractions with different numbers, but at the end, they are the same. Okay, we're gonna learn about that today. Here, he's saying shade half of each shape. He wants half of the shape. So like that is the half, right? Half the shape. They are 4, so half of it is 2. Okay, how many quarters have you shaded? How many quarters? They are 4 quarters. How many quarters did I shape? When I cut any shape into 4, each part of it is gonna be a quarter. Okay, so it's like saying that this is a quarter, and this is a quarter, and this is a quarter, and this is a quarter, right? I cut these shapes into 4 quarters. So now, how many quarters have you shaded? 1, 2, 2 quarters. How do I write 2 quarters? Remember when I told you this is how the way I say it is how I write it. 2 quarters or 2/4. It means 2 over 4. Okay, here. Here he also wants me to shade half the shape. So let's shade half of it. And this is the half, right? Okay. Now, how many eighths have you shaded? Why eighth? Because he divided the shape into 8 parts. Sorry, this is too big. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He divided the shape into 8 parts. That's why how many eighths? Each shape is 1 over 8. How many by eighths have you shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. I shaded 4 parts. But what's it called? From 4 from how many? 4 from 8. So it's called 4/8. Okay? I want you to think about something. I shaded, this is a square and this is a square. I shaded here, here half the square and I shaded here half the square. مش البارت اللي I shaded here is the same as the part I shaded here. يبقى ال 2 over 4 دي is the same as 4 over 8. And we learn how this happened. Okay, let me go here. I'll shade also half the shape because this is what he wanted me to do. How many halves? Only one half, right? So only one half, which is a half. Here, let's shade half the shape. Okay. Don't make the mistake and shade it like that. Okay, it would be easier if I shade it like that. This is half the shape, right? Okay. How many tenths? Why tenths? Because I divided the shape into 10 parts. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 from how many? 5 from 10. So it's called 5 tenths. Okay? These 4 fractions are equal to each other because it's the same size, right? Okay. These shapes show equivalent fractions. What are they? Let me see. الأول هكتب الفراكشن here and the fraction here. Okay. Let's count. How many shaded? 1. From how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. يبقى my fraction here is 1 shaded out of how many? Out of 4. So it's 1 over 4. Here, how many shaded? 2. 2 of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 from the 8. Is this part shaded here is equal to the part shaded here, right? So quarter equals 2 over 8. Okay. طيب miss ازاي quarter equal to over 8 بقى talking about math. Okay, not يعني لو ال drawing ده مش قدامك. Okay, let me show you بقى how. For example, اهي 1 over 4 equals 2 over 8. See بقى يا miss, I will tell you how to know if they are equal or not. How did the 1 become a 2? We only multiply and divide when I want an equivalent fraction. Okay? By multiplying it by 2. 1 times 2 will give me 2. Whatever I do to the numerator, I must do to the denominator. And the opposite. اللي هعمله في denominator, I must do to the numerator. يبقى مادام up I multiplied by 2, لازم down كمان I multiply by 2. So 4 times 2 gives me an 8. مادام the answer is right, يبقى الكوارتر is the same as the 2 over 8. لو multiply up by 3, I multiply down by 3. لو multiply up by 5, I multiply down by 5. لو I multiply down by 10, I multiply up by 10. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry about my voice. Okay. Let's try doing number B. Here, 2 parts are colored. 2 from how many? From 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 from 4. يبقى 2 over 4. Okay, let's see here. How many parts colored? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 from how many? From 8. They are all 8. So this is 4 over 8. Can you please pause the video and try answering number C on your own and come back to see if your answer is right, okay? Okay, here how many parts are colored? 3. 3 from how many? From 4. They are all 4. Here how many parts are colored? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parts are colored from how many? From 8. I hope you got the answer right. Okay. Great. This is page 45. Okay. Can you please answer D as well for me? Answer number D and pause me and come back to see how we answer. Okay, here how many parts are colored? 1. 1 from how many? All of them, they are 5. Here how many are colored? 1, 2. 2 from how many? When you count all of them, it's gonna be 10. Okay, now he's asking us to write true or false. Is it right or wrong for each statement? 2 quarters are equivalent to 1/2. طب let's write them. Let's write الأول. أنا ما ينفعش أجاوب وأنا عندي letters. Math only likes numbers. How do I write 2 quarters? Let's write it out. 2 over 2 quarters. يبقى 2 over what? Quarter is a what? Is a 4. 2 over 4. And the other one equivalent to 1/2, which means a half. Is it equal to a half? Let's see. Here 1 and over 2. Is 2 quarters equivalent to a half? أشوف. How can the 1 become a 2? نقارن. How can the 1 become a 2? أنا قلت I'm gonna multiply or divide. Easier to multiply for you by multiplying by 2. طيب لو أنا عملت denominator كمان times 2 والأنسر طلعت صح, then they are equivalent. 2 times 2 will give me a 4. يبقى صح. لو 1 times 2 gives me 2 و 2 times 2 gives me 4, then they are equivalent. So the first one is true. I'll just write T. What about here? Let's see if they are equivalent. How can the 1 become a 4? By multiplying by 4. لو عملت down كمان times 4 والأنسر طلعت صح, يبقى دول equal. 4 times 4 gives me 8. Definitely no. 4 times 4 gives me 16. يبقى here they are not equivalent. طيب let's do number C. 1 out of 5 is the same as 5 out of 10. Let's write it and see. 1 out of 5 is the same as or equivalent to 5 out of 10. 5 over 10. Is 1 over 5 equivalent to 5 over 10? هشوف. 1 times what gives me 5? 1 times 5. ولا هعمله down or up؟ لازم أعمله down. لو عملت down times 5 and it gives me the right answer, then they are equivalent. Does 5 times 5 gives you 10? No, 5 times 5 gives me 25. يبقى definitely they are not equivalent. Let's see number D. Is the half equal to 5/10? Let's see. What I'll do up, I'll do down. How did the 1 become a 5? Times 5. بعدين عملت up times 5. لازم كمان أعمل down times 5. 2 times 5 gives me 10. Yes, so this is true. Can you please pause me and answer E and F and come back to see how we do it? If you did it right. يلا pause me and answer E and F on your own. Okay, now let us see 4/8. How do I write 4/8? I write it 4 over 8. 4/8 is equivalent to 1/4, which means 1 over 4. Let us see. Is 4 over 8 equal to 1 over 4? Okay, we'll see now. Let's try. How did the 1 become a 4? multiplying it by 4. So I must also multiply down by 4 and see if the answer will be right. 4 times 4 is 16. This is an 8. So definitely these fractions are not equivalent. So this is false. Okay, let's see here. How did the 2 stay at 2 multiplying by 1? طيب يبقى I must multiply also down by 1 and see if it would be the same. 4 times 1 gives me 8. Definitely wrong. So this is also false. Okay. Now guys, I need you to open page 48. Okay. But guys, don't open page 48. I need you to get your class worksheet. We will answer the 2 pages in the class worksheet first, and then we will go to page 48 again in the workbook. So please now just get your class worksheet. Okay. I will answer with you A and B, and you're gonna answer C and D. Okay. Here بقى خلاص there is no drawings, and he wants me to write an equivalent fraction to 4 over 5. Okay, now I'm gonna ask myself, how did the 5 become a 10? By multiplying by what? 5 times 1 5. لا يبقى مش 1. طب 5 times 2. Yes, 5 times 2 gives me 10. So like that I multiply down by 2. And whatever I do to the denominator I'm gonna do to the numerator. يبقى هعمل up كمان times 2. طيب هي 4 times 2 gives me what? Gives me 8. Okay, let's see here in number B, it's division. Okay, if you don't, how do I answer the division? What times 4 gives me 8? Division قلت لكم it's the only thing that starts from the other way. What times 4 gives me 8? 1 times 4 gives me 4. لا يبقى مش 1. Type 2 times 4 gives me 8. Then it's a 8. It's dividing by 2. Because 4 times 2 is gonna give me an 8. يبقى I will also divide up by 2. I say, what times 2 gives me a 2? Definitely 1. 1 times 2 gives me a 2. Can you pause me and try answering C and D on your own? Okay. Okay, here is how did the 1 become a 4? By multiplying by 4. يبقى whatever I'll do up, I must do down. I will also multiply the denominator by 4. 2 times 4 is an 8. Here, it's division. How did the 4 become a 2? هسأل نفسي بالعكس. What times 2 gives me 4? 1 times 2, 2. طب 2 times 2, yes, gives me 4. يبقى here I'm dividing by 2. يبقى down كمان I'm gonna divide by 2. هقول what times 2 gives me 10. 8 times 2 gives me 10. Should know that it is a 5. Okay. Here he's saying, second, shade the parts to show the equivalent fraction for each given fraction. Then write the equivalent fraction. Down, I will shade the same as up. It's shaded till here. Okay. Or like that, I shaded down as up, right? Type. How many are shaded? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 from how many? They are all 10. يبقى the equivalent fraction is a 4 over 10. It is the same part shaded نفس السايز هنا قد هنا بس here it's divided into different parts. Okay, and as you can see how did the 2 become a 4 times 2 up يبقى لو عملت كمان times 2 down 5 times 2 is a 10 يبقى this is right and this is an equivalent fraction. Let's shade down like up. Okay, here it is 4 from 8 type here it's how many 1 2 3 4 5 5 from how many from 10 5 over 10. Okay, okay, here which of these fractions is not equivalent to the other fractions مين في دول are not the same. طيب with our minds 1 over 2 is a half. Okay, type 5 from 10 is 5 half the 10. Yes, يبقى this is also a half. طيب 2 over 8 is 2 half the 8. No, but this one is different. طب عشان to make sure let's see the last one is 4 half the 8. Yes, so this is also a half. يبقى the first and the second and the fourth are halves. يبقى the different one is 2 over 8. This is the different duck because it doesn't represent a half. Okay, okay, the second page is asking us to match the equivalent fractions. Okay. Here, a half. Let me look for something which is a half. 8 is 8 half the 8? No. Is 2 half the 8? No. Is 8 half the 10? Pardon, no. Is 5 half the 10? Yes. So this is also a half. If I shade this one with this, 1. What about the 2 over 2? 2 over 2 means 1. So I should look for something like it. 8 over 8 is also 1. يعني عندي 8 apples هقسمهم على 8 people يبقى كل واحد is gonna take a 1. It's a whole 1. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry أنا الشيت عندي مش عارفة أبينها كلها. Okay. So just try working it like that. Okay. Let's go down. So just clear it. Okay. Number C. 2 over 5. So let's try. How can the 2 become an 8? And I already made the first one. Okay. And I made this one. So not to get confused. We already chose this one and we answered this one. Okay. And the first برضو اللي احنا مش شايفينهم we answered them. So we have 1 2 3 4 and we have 1 2 3 4. So now how let's try بقى نجرب. How did the 2 become a 2? By multiplying by 1. شوف النيوميريتور مع النيوميريتور. طب let's multiply down by 1. 5 times 1 gives me an 8. No, so it's not the first one. طيب نجرب مع second one. How did the 2 become an 8? By multiplying by 4. طب let's multiply كمان denominator by 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Now this is 10. They are not the same. Let's try this one. How did the 2 become a 4? By multiplying by 2. طيب let's multiply كمان 5 by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. إذا they are the same يبقى this one is equivalent to this one. Okay? because I multiplied up and down by 2 بقت 4 over 10. It's the same. Here it is 3 over 5, and here is 6 over 10. هي مش باينة. Okay, let's try. Can the 3 become a 2? No, مفيش حاجة times 3 gives me a 2. It's not this one. Can the 3 become an 8? Anything times 3 gives me an 8? No, so it's not this one. Can the 3 become a 6? Yes, it can become a 6. ازاي by multiplying by 2؟ يبقى أنا عملت 3 times 2 up، يبقى هعمل كمان times 2 إيه down. 5 times 2 is 10. إيه ده؟ Yes, it's this one. This is 6 over 10. Okay, like that we're done from this one. I have these two left. This is a 4 and a 5. Okay, طيب دول bigger، يبقى I will look to the answers here. How can the 2 become a 4? By multiplying by 2. هعمل كمان 8 times 2. 16. Is the down part 16? No. طب let's try this one here. 8. طيب يبقى هبتدي من هنا، ببتدي دايما بال smaller. How did the 4 become an 8? By multiplying by 2. مادام عملت up multiplied by 2 يبقى هعمل كمان down multiplied by 2. 5 times 2 gives me a 10. إيه ده؟ يبقى right, this is it. It is 4 over 5 is 8 over 10. لما أعمل multiplying up and down by 2. And the last one, 1 over 4. How did the 1 become a 2? By multiplying by 2. طيب let's multiply down كمان by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. يبقى then my answer is here. It's right. Okay guys. Now the last two things. خلي بالكوا and I will answer A and you're gonna answer B. Okay? Here I have 3 fractions and I want them all to be equal. Okay? Okay. طيب دايما in this situation I choose one fraction and I always start from it. Okay? يعني مش بقى I don't answer وبعدين I use my answer to answer again. No. I only choose one fraction and I always answer from it. Okay, I'm gonna choose بقى which fraction. I'm gonna choose ال complete fraction اللي هي complete عندي. دايما هبتدي من 1 over 3. How did the 3 become a 6? By multiplying by 2. ما دام عملت down multiplying by 2 هعمل كمان up ايه multiplying by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay. طيب this is very easy. اوعوا بقى تعملوا mistake ان انا ابتدي من هنا. No. I always start من اللي كانت عندي في الأول complete, which is the 1 over 3. Okay. هقول how did the 1 second please. How did the 1 become a 3? By multiplying by 3. يبقى هنا كمان down I'm gonna multiply by 3. 3 times 3 gives me a 9. Okay. Try to do it here. Remember, you'll always start from the 3 over 4. Okay. Okay, so now I start always from the complete one. How did the 3 become a 6? By multiplying by 2. So I'm gonna also multiply the denominator by 2. 4 times 2 is gonna give me a what? An 8. Okay. And remember, I always start from the complete one. Okay, this is very important. Okay. Now, how did the 4 become a 12? By multiplying by 3. يبقى I'm gonna also multiply up by 3, which is 3 times 3. It's gonna give me a 9. Okay, guys. Like that, we finished the class worksheet. And we can go now to workbook, workbook page 48. Okay, please open workbook page 48. Okay, this is very easy, guys, and you already took it. So it's gonna be really easy for you. It's turning fractions into decimals. And these are fractions with a 10 or 100 down. Okay, so it's very easy to know that 1 over 10. I will move my decimal one place, so it's gonna be 0.1. Okay, طيب لو أنا بقى عندي decimal and I want to turn it into a fraction, which is the opposite. Okay, this is an 8, right? So I'll just write 8. Okay, over what? As I wanted to be a fraction, 8 over what? Is it بقى a 10 or 100 or 1,000? I'll see. How many numbers after the decimal? Only one number after the decimal. If I only put 1 0, which means it is a 10. Okay, so it's an 8 over 10. Here, 0.5, it means it is 5 over, only one number after the decimal. So it's over a number with only one 0, which is the 10. Where's the 5 over 10? It's here. What about the 0.2? It means it is 2 over number, only one number after the decimal, so it's 2 over 10. Okay, let's try the 0.9. 0.9 also is 9 over 10. I'm gonna pause and you answer, please. 0.3, 0.4, 0.7, and 0.6. Okay, and come back to see how we do it. Okay. Okay, 0.3, definitely it is 3 and only one number after it, so it's 3 over 10. Okay, which is here. And 0.4 is 4 over 10. 0.7 is 7 over 10. And the last thing, 0.6 is 6 over 10. Okay, this is really very easy. Let's go here. Here, he's asking you to write the fraction and then turn it into a decimal. كلنا عارفين طبعا ال square, which is made of 100 small squares. Okay, square grid. Okay, so all these are 100. Okay, and the row or the column is made of 10. So how do I count in it? I count like that. Okay, because here rows are complete. يبقى ادي 10 20 30 40 50 60 70. يبقى here I have what? I have 70 colored. From how many? From 100. يبقى my fraction here is 70 over 100. Okay? طيب, how can I turn it into a decimal? It's very easy. We all know it. Move my decimal. Move my decimal 2 places because it's divided by 100. So 1, 2. So it became a 0.70. 0.70 or 0.7. It's the same. Okay, let's do number B. Okay, we said that the row is 10. So it's 10, 20. So this means this is 20 from how many 20 from 100 because they are all 100. Let's turn it into a decimal. Two zeros, يبقى I will move two places. 1, 2. So it's gonna be a 0.20, okay? I'll do C with you and then you do D, E, F. Let's see how many in C. There is 10, 20, 30, and then this one is not complete. So I'm gonna count by 1. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So how many are colored? 35. 35 from how many? From 100. Now let's turn it into a decimal. I will move my decimal two places because it's divided by 100. A 1, 2. So it's a 0.35. Okay, now answer number D, E, F and come back to see how we do it, okay? Okay, so now let's count. Okay, we're number D. Okay, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then it's not complete. I'm gonna count by 1. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. So how many are colored? 95. 95 from how many? 95 out of 100. Now let's turn it into a decimal. My decimal will move two places. So it's gonna be 0.95. Let's try number E. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and we count the ones: 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. So here it is 69. 69 from how many? From 100. Now we turn it into a decimal. My decimal will move two places, so it's gonna be 0.69. Now let's count here: 10, 20. Now let's count the ones: 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So here I have 28 from how many? From 100. And when I turn it into a decimal, it's gonna be 0.28. Okay, now let's go to page 50. Here, it's very easy. He's turning the fraction into a decimal, and sometimes the opposite. He gave you the fraction, the decimal, and he wants it to be a fraction. Okay. Okay, so let's turn 5 over 100 into a decimal. It's very easy. Okay, I'll move two places because it's divided 100. So 1, 2 with my decimal. Definitely I'm gonna put a 0 here. So my answer is gonna be 0.05. Okay, let's answer this. Move two places. 1, 2. 1, 2. My decimal will be here, and here is gonna be a 0. So it's gonna be sorry, it's only the decimal will move here because this is two places. So it's gonna be a 0.90. Okay, I'll leave this for you to do it. Let's do 0.70. It's gonna be a 70 over what? How many numbers after the decimal? Two numbers. Down must be two zeros. يبقى over 100. I'm gonna leave this one for you to do it, and I'm gonna do this one for you. Here the number is 1. 1 over what? How many numbers after the decimals? عندك 0 and the 1. يبقى two numbers after the decimals. يبقى I must have a number with two zeros down, which is the 100. Let's see, 0.12. The number is 12. 12 over what? How many numbers after the decimal? Two numbers. يبقى ده must be a number with a two zeros. لو not one number يبقى over 10. Now, pause me please and answer uh, the remaining questions. A fraction and a fraction and a fraction, and then here two decimals. Okay, please answer these five and come back to see how we do it. Okay, so 50 over 100, my decimal will move two places because it's over 100. Here is 1 and here is 2. So it's gonna be a 0.50. Here, bardo, my decimal will move two places, so it's gonna be 0.63. Here the same, my decimal will move two places because it's divided 100, so it's gonna be 0.81. What about here? I wanted to turn it into a fraction. It's 69. But I'm gonna write 69 over how many numbers after the decimal? Two numbers. So I must write two zeros. So it's a 100. And the last one, the number is 10 over how many numbers after the decimal? Two numbers. So it must be a 100 because it has two zeros. Now please go to page 50. Okay. Now he's saying write these amounts as fractions and as decimals. يبقى الأول هعملها fraction وبعدين fraction I'm gonna turn it into a decimal. It's very easy to write it as a fraction. We already learned this the last time. How many parts are colored? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, number A. 1, 2, 3. 3 from how many? Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a 3 over 10. Huh. And as a decimal, I will move my decimal one place. ليه؟ عشان it's only a 10. 1 0 يبقى one place. So it's gonna be a 0.3. I'll do number B. How many are colored? 8. 8 from how many? From 10. So it's an 8 over 10. And as a decimal, الدecimal بتاعتي will move only one place because it's divided by 10. So it's gonna be a 0.8. Let's do number C. How many are colored? 6. 6 from how many? From 10. يبقى my decimal is my fraction is 6 over 10. Okay, my decimal will be what? My decimal will only move one place, so it's gonna be 0.6 because it's divided by 10. Please pause the video, answer D, E, F, and come back to see how we did it. Okay, number D, I have 5 colored. 5 from how many? From 10. So my fraction is 5 over 10. And the decimal will move only one place because it's divided 10, so it's 0.5. Here, how many colored? 9. 9 from how many? From 10. My decimal will move one place, so it's gonna be a 0.9. Here, how many colored? 1. 1 from how many? From 10. So my decimal will move only one place to be 0.1. Okay? Now let's go to challenge 2. He's saying convert these fractions into decimals. طبعا this is very easy. We already took it first term. And here my decimal will move two places. So it's gonna be 0.01. Here also will move two places. So it's gonna be 0.20. Here my decimal will only move one place because it's divided 10. So it's 0.7. What about here? My decimal will move two places, so it's gonna be 0.14. I'll leave E for you to do it. Or yes, and I'll do F. Here my decimal will move 2 places, so it's gonna be 0.05. Please pause me, answer E, G, H, and I, and come back to see how we do it. As for number E, my decimal will only move 1 place, so it's gonna be 0.5. Here divided 100, my decimal will move 2 places, so it's gonna be a 0.59. Here the decimal will move 2 places because it's divided 100, so it's 0.15. And here at the end it's gonna be 0.65 as it's divided 100. Okay. Here he's saying convert these decimals into fractions. Okay, so I'm gonna answer A, B, and C, and you're gonna answer D, E, and F. Here, what's the number? The number is 8. 8 over what? How many numbers after the decimal? 2 numbers. See, but I must put down 2 zeros, which is 100. Here, the number is 40. Over how many? How many numbers after the decimal? 2 numbers. So it's a 100. Here, the number is 2. Over how many numbers after the decimal? 2 numbers. So it's gonna be a 100. Now please pause me and answer D, E, and F. Okay, as for D, the number is 55. Over how many? How many numbers after the decimal? 2. So it's over a 100. Here, what's the number? 7. How many numbers after the decimal? Only one number. So only 1 0, so it's a 10. Okay. Here, it's a 13. Over how many? 2 numbers after the decimal, يبقى over 100. Okay. Here, here it is asking us color half of this square. This is 100. So definitely let's color half it, which is a 50 or 5 rows or 5 columns. Okay. So here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is half of it. Okay. Okay, so this is half the shape. So this half, you shaded how many? I shaded 50. 50 from how many year 4? 50 from 100. Now can I turn this 50 over 100 into a decimal? Yes. My decimal will move 2 places and it's gonna be 0.50. Go please to the next page. Here he's saying color 1/4 of this shape. طيب لو الهاف احنا عارفين دي 100. half ال 100 is 50. طب الكوارتر definitely it's a 25. Okay, so let's color 25. Here is a 10, a 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Like this we color 25. Okay, 25, which is quarter, because the half is 50. Quarter, then it's half the 50, it's 25. So like that I colored 25 over the 100. Can I turn it into a decimal? Yes, I can. 0.25. Can you please try doing number C? And remember, 3/4 is how many? We already talked about this. 3/4 is a, from the 100 is a 75. Okay? Go do it and come back. So 3/4 mean I'm gonna color a 75. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, 70. Here is the 70. Okay, and then let's do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, I shaded 75. 75 from how many? 75 from 100. So let's turn it into a decimal, move my decimal two places, so it's 0.75. And the last thing we're gonna talk about today, we will only answer one in challenge 3. This strip shows 1/5, يعني one colored from the 5. Leah says, if I can change this into tenths, I can write it as a decimal. Explain how Leah could show the fraction as tenths. How can I turn 1/5 into something over 10? Okay, this is what we learned. We learned that I can say that 1/5 can be turned into tenths, something over 10. 1/5 can be turned into tenths. Tenths يعني 1/10. Sixths يعني 1/6, or something over 6. Ninth is something over 9. Okay, so how can it be turned into tenths? Huh? Can I do this? Yes, I can, by using my equivalent fractions. How did the 5 become a 10? Times 2. Madam, I times the denominator by 2. I must also times the numerator by 2. So 1 times 2 is gonna be 2. بس كده. Okay, like that we're done from today's lesson. And this is your homework. Okay, guys, this is your homework. It's 8 pages. Please do today at least 4 pages and tomorrow 4 pages. Or this is Thursday, you have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can do like 3 pages, 3 pages, and 2 pages. Okay, so here it's very easy. Write the fraction and then turn it into a decimal. Here is like the one we answered. He is saying it is 1/3, so it can be turned into sixths. Sixths means something over 6. فهكتب 1/3 equals something over 6. Okay, and we used the equivalent fractions. How did the 3 become a 6? By multiplying by 2. If I multiplied down by 2, I will multiply also up by 2. And here the 5 into tenths, يبقى something over 10. And here the 4 into 8, يبقى something over 8. Converted decimals into fractions, we already learned it. Here fill in the missing numerators or denominators. دي هنا half shaded وهنا برضو half shaded وهنا برضو half shaded. Okay, هنا quarter shaded وهنا برضو نفس الشيب shaded. Okay, here he's saying show the equivalent fractions. How did the 2 become an 8? And so on. خلاص, we answered like all this, and this is a page about the last lesson, which is uh, arranging the fractions, and here is also comparing fractions. Okay, and here is a match. It's very easy, guys. Okay, good luck. See you inshallah on Sunday with a new lesson. Bye.